Hi, this is Eric Anderton. Welcome back to the Construction Profit Blueprint. We are on the fourth and final video. In the first video, we did an introduction to the Construction Profit Blueprint. Then we talked about how to identify your profit opportunities. Then we talked about how to analyze your profit opportunities. And now we're going to talk about maximizing your profit opportunities. As you know, you have opportunities in the bidding processes that you use, your building processes, and your billing processes to maximize profit opportunities. You're in construction, so you're in a tough business. Profit margins are thin, and you have to do everything that you can to maximize those so that you can build the business that you want and that you deserve. So in order to maximize your profit opportunities, think back to what I said earlier about how as the leader of the organization, you're responsible for the vision and the direction and ultimately the profitability of the organization. If you're going to be able to maximize the profit opportunities, what you need to be able to do is to get busy. You need to be able to get busy, not only yourself, but you have to be able to enroll your people to get busy in maximizing those opportunities. And what that's going to require in your organization is accountability. Okay. So let me explain to you a little bit more about how it is that you can maximize your profit opportunities. Think back to the last video where we were talking about analyzing those profit opportunities. And after you've had a discussion about a particular area, you've identified the MVI, or the most valuable idea. A process that I've taught my clients for many, many years is how to build action plans that are based upon the ideas they've come up with in order to maximize their profitability. Now, an effective action plan has three parts to it. So let me break that down for you. At the top of an effective action plan is what I call the rally cry. The rally cry. Let me give you an example from history. If any of you guys are history buffs, you know in World War II, the Allies invaded Germany from both the west, through Normandy and France, and the east. The Russians came in from the east. Now the Allies, they had a rally cry for their invasion. And you know what the rally cry was? Beat Germany. Beat Germany. It was a very clear rally cry. They knew exactly what it was that they were focused on in order to do what they needed to do. In the same way, when you are analyzing and then maximizing your profit opportunities, you need a clear rally cry that your people understand and that they can focus on. Just like the soldiers and the officers in those armies knew exactly what it was that they were going to do, beat Germany, so the soldiers in your business need to have a clear rally cry as to how you're going to maximize the profit opportunities in your organization. So let me give you an example from one of the discussions that I've had with one of my clients in the past. They decided that their rally cry was going to be this: fabricate the majority of our steel. They're a rebar contractor, and so their rally cry was to fabricate the majority of their steel because this was one of the ways that they were going to maximize their profitability. Now, the rally cry wasn't very sexy, it wasn't very, necessarily inspiring to other people, but it was inspiring to them because they knew that they could make more money if they were fabricating the majority of their own steel, and it was correct. They identified that they needed to do that, and that then became their rally cry. Now, it's not enough to have a rally cry. In order to be able to achieve this rally cry, you then need areas of fierce focus. These areas of fierce focus are the large things that you need to do in order to achieve the rally cry. So let me break that down for you a little bit here. As my client was thinking about how they could achieve this rally cry of fabricating the majority of their own steel, they identified three areas of fierce focus that they needed to work on in order to drive that. The first area was to get a new bank line of credit. The second area was to run the shop more effectively. And then the third area was to get more accurate job costs. What they did then is they assigned one individual to each one of these three areas as the person responsible for making sure that this fierce focus was achieved. The third step of an action plan is to come up with the critical numbers. The critical numbers are the measurements or the metrics that tell you whether or not you are achieving these areas of fierce focus, which are then driving the achievement of the rally cry. It's one thing to be able to identify what you need to do, but if you can't measure whether or not you're doing it, then you probably won't achieve what you want to achieve. So for them, the three critical numbers that they wanted to track, number one was the line of credit status. That was something that they could then track. The second one was fabricated and delivered weight. If they're running the shop more effectively, then they're going to be fabbing and delivering more weight, obviously, right? And then the third one was simply looking at the job costs and really working those to see what the numbers were to ensure that they were actually getting accurate job costs. So as you can see, the critical numbers told them whether or not this fierce focus was then getting done. And if the fierce focus was getting done, then they could be confident that the rally cry was being achieved. This is how you build, dropped my pen again. This is how you build an effective action plan in order to maximize on the profit opportunities that you have. You take time to identify those opportunities, you take time to analyze those opportunities, and then you must maximize them by building an effective action plan and then holding people accountable for that action plan. So we've reached the end of this discussion about the construction profit blueprint. And you know your business. You know that you've got to bid work, you've got to build it, you've got to bill it. The mistake that many construction companies make is they just go right back from the billing to the bidding without taking time to think. The whole idea of the construction profit blueprint is to give you a framework to think through how to identify, analyze, and then maximize the profit opportunities that you have in your company.